Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. We are live here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. And Ladies Week continues here on BowlTV. We're here for the 4 p.m. team event. And on today's featured pair, 17 and 18, we have 2012 USBC Queens champion Diandra Asbaty. And her talented team includes some international and collegiate success: Yioulos, Paola Gomez, and Rachael Gittings. So certainly looking forward to an exciting team event today. A big number on top, just set last night, 26-67 here in this 4-player team event. And we are just about to get underway. Aaron Smith hard at work right now on the latest news. We had a new all-events leader today in Division 1, Shauna Shannon. Helped her team into the lead last night, Some Strike It Hot of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Their 4th consecutive year taking the top spot. They came away with the 2012 Diamond Team title, finished 2nd last year, along with 3rd in scratch team. But an absolutely loaded squad here today. The announcements took quite a bit of time with Hall of Famers, champions, you name it, everybody, of course, in town this week for the USBC Queens and Senior Queens. And what better way to get warmed up than to spend a couple days here at the USBC Women's Championships. A great opportunity with all these terrific events in one town. Of course, last year, for the very first time in history, the Open and Women's Championships both held in the same city for the very first time. And Reno, home to many great events this year, 2014. And as we speak, the USBC Open Championship still taking place across town at the National Bowling Stadium. That event kicked off February 28th, will run until July 13th. The Women's Championships here at the RSCC, April 11th to June 30th, so almost over. But again, so many talented players in town for the USBC Queens and Senior Queens, and they're all stopping by. Seems like they're all on this squad. So we'll keep our eye on all of the scoreboards across this 44-lane facility. But right now, it's all about Team DFTBA. And we have no idea what that means. But they're hoping to see that at the top of the leaderboards in about 3 hours. We will see. Again, a lot of talent here. A lot of familiar names. And we'll let you know what's going on across the house. We're just getting settled in. Game number 1 just underway, so thank you for joining us again. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we're watching the team event here at the USBC Women's Championships. First of 3 remaining broadcasts from the RSCC this week. We'll be back tomorrow to see defending Diamond Singles and All Events champion Christine Gill, followed by Scratch All Events winner Rocio Restrepo on Friday morning. So we're going to be a lot of excitement here at the Convention Center, and we're bringing it to you live on BowlTV. Nice recap of last night's team event on bowl.com right now. Also find us on Facebook and Twitter, so you will not be left out in the cold as far as all of the great tournament news this week. So Paola Gomez with the first strike for Team DFTBA. anchor bowler, 2012 Queens champion, longtime Team USA member Diandra Asbaty matches. And again, this loaded squad, great teams everywhere. Again, saw new team leaders last night, and we'll see how important it is in this team atmosphere for two top teams to be paired together, as opposed to what we saw yesterday, where it was a diamond team and an emerald team. Emerald being the other end of the spectrum here. We have 4 divisions in the team event now. A little bit of a format change here in 2014, and things have changed quite a bit in recent years. With the addition of handicap in a new convention center setting in 2010. And we've since gone away from the handicap now, and instead more divisions, more average-based divisions in the team event. 4 divisions: diamond, ruby, sapphire, and emerald. And 6 divisions for double, singles, and all events. And average ranges from 190 and above to 129 and below. So certainly an opportunity for everybody to come here and find success on the tournament lanes. And today we're seeing 2 diamond teams matched up here on lane 17 and 18. Our other team, Tampa Titans, Stephanie Beck, Amanda Flood, Jennifer Herman, and of course USBC Hall of Famer and defending USBC Senior Queens champion Lucy Sandelin. And I know Aaron Smith was in awe of all of the stars on the scoreboards. That, of course, symbolizes a championship here at the WC, and a handful of Hall of Famers in attendance as well.
Yes, Matt, certainly an unbelievable squad we have here. It's and we're pretty fortunate. We are surrounded by most of these solid teams out here. Just paired to our right, see some very talented ladies out of the California area. Debbie Ayers, Michelle Silver, featured on our live stream last year, along with Nicole Van Daniker and Jamie Martin. Liz Johnson and her talented crew, another pair to the right. Robin Romeo, Donna Connors, Carol Norman all in the house. Dee Dee Davidson.
For those of you who don't know, Aaron Smith is the resident expert on the USBC Women's Championships. He is a wealth of WC history and knowledge. So he's going to wow you with all kinds of stats and figures today. As we watch this team event again, we're watching 2 diamond teams go at it here on lane 17 and 18. And the number set last night, 26-67. Again, 4-player teams at the Women's Championships this year for the very first time in history, modeled after a lot of state and local tournaments that have gone this way, to certainly make it a lot easier to pair up for doubles, and even makes travel a little bit easier too. But here we are, the first year of 4-player teams, and the bar raised last night, 26-67, by the 2012 Diamond Team champion, Some Strike It Hot of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And a few of those players in the building, I know I saw Brandy Silva walking around a little bit earlier, very nervous just about the quality of this squad. And of course hopeful that the score is enough to hold up, especially through today. But time will tell. A lot of great players and a lot of strikes already on the board, so we will see.
Yes, certainly an interesting dynamic compared to yesterday, what we saw right here live on BowlTV. You already mentioned they were teamed up with an Emerald team, so definitely a little bit different kind of transition out there for 2 teams working together like we see with these 2 diamond teams. So there might be some advantages, might be some disadvantages as well. Obviously, working together, you'll have an opportunity to open up the pattern quite substantially. Although at the same time, yesterday, maybe with the lower rev rates and straighter players on the pair, maybe it just didn't break down as quickly, and they were able to kind of stay in their comfort zones a little bit longer. But we will we will see today.
We had a long conversation this morning with a couple folks about the team dynamic here at the Women's Championships. You don't necessarily see the companion teams and the team play as prevalent as you would at the Open Championships, where you often see 10 players paired up together, working together, one basic strategy. At the Women's Championships, you see a lot of individual teams. Of course, with the 4 players, it makes it a lot easier now to pair up again. So the teams randomly placed on the lanes if they don't come together, which again it's not super rare, but a lot less frequent here at the Women's Championships. Certainly could come into play. Now, I'm sure all these players we're watching right now on 17 and 18 know each other, but I'm not so sure they came together. Just so happened to get paired up, and well, who better to be paired up with than a USBC Hall of Famer, Lucy Sandlin, who you know has been working extremely hard on her game, getting ready to put her senior queen title on the line this week at the National Bowling Stadium. She said she's done things a lot differently than she did in 2008, the last time she was the defending champion, where she automatically gets seeded into match play, but chose not to bowl in the qualifying, which would have given her a chance to see the lanes for a handful of games, maybe try some things. This year, she's worked very hard. She's going to bowl all of the qualifying, try to improve her standing. And regardless, she'll go in as the number 16 seed unless her qualifying spot is higher. And of course, those games certainly will help her along the way. But the anchor up on lane 18 right now, very accomplished and a very fortunate pairing, I think, for Diandra and her team as well.
Certainly so, as Lucy comes in a little bit light there. I did get the chance to talk to her, kind of talk about just this experience in general, and you are correct. She did not choose to qualify back in 2008. She had a lot of events on her table leading up to that, so she had hoped she could figure it all out within the practice session. She said that didn't work so well. So she likes having the comfort of knowing she's going to make the double elimination match play bracket here in 2014, but she's not, she said she might experiment a little bit on may try a few different balls here and there as the pattern breaks down throughout the day, but she still has her eyes on the prize, looking at the Triple Crown as well, which takes the qualifying of the National Golden Ladies, which already took place a few months back, and then the Senior U.S. Women's Open, which will be coming up in July. Matt, you'll get to cover that event. We got to cover that a little bit last year with the Senior Queens at the ITRC, so another exciting addition for these 50 and over ladies. Lucy is ready, she's sharp, she's ready to put the title on the line, so should be an exciting couple days ahead, and of course we'll have the stepladder finals broadcast live on BowlTV on July 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to tune in. Lucas Wiseman will be bringing you all the coverage right here live on BowlTV from the USBC Queens throughout the week. And then we have the TV finals July 3rd on ESPN2. All right, looking around the RSCC already. See some strikes up. Donna Connors. Front 5 strikes for Yukon Bowl 2 out of Newhall, California. Jeannie Nacarado, Carol Norman, Robin Romeo, her teammates over there. And of course, former Team USA member, 2012 Queens champion Diandra Asbaty, getting ready here on 18. Runs a little high, leaves the 4-7. Diandra had quite a day at the USBC Open Championships yesterday, flirting with a near perfect game during her team event. Started off with the first 10 strikes before, I believe, leaving that very same 4-7. On her way to a 288, finished with 714. They were bowling earlier today at the National Bowling Stand. Matt, you made it sound like they didn't quite find the same success the following day, but still bowled.
I got down there just
well.
in time to see Diandra finish off her last game of singles. It was in the 160s and did not have a single strike in it. But I think overall the 9 games, including the 7-14 series and team, certainly a great warm-up on a challenging couple of conditions to come over here and have a good time with the ladies as they prepare for the upcoming USBC Queens. So certainly a lot of opportunities to bowl here in Reno this week, and many of these players taking advantage of it for sure. Between the 2 major events, 18 possible games. Then you can sub for a second time at the Women's Championship, so add on 3 more team games. And then, of course, the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships over at the National Bowling Stadium, which includes even mixed doubles, ladies doubles, and then downstairs on the track showcase lanes, the Columbia 340 frame game. So if they want to just kick back and have a little bit of fun too, there's an opportunity for a nice handicap singles event just to get some games in. And then the practice session for the Queens will be Friday evening, with qualifying, 15 games of qualifying starting on Saturday. So all players will bowl 15 games before the field is cut. And typically, Queens Week has fallen in April. But with those top players in town, it's always very exciting here at the Women's Championships. We saw it especially back in 2010. Aaron was there in person. We saw some amazing scores, all right next to each other, even a couple 800s, and of course the highest all-event score in history, Jody Wessner, 2330. And back in 2011, I was there in Syracuse while Aaron was on hiatus, and again got to see some excitement. But last year, USBC Queens moved into Las Vegas Labor Day weekend, so they didn't have the same opportunity that we're seeing right now. But here they are putting up the strikes again. 2667 is the number in the Diamond Team event. And with this caliber of a squad, Aaron, I don't know how we don't see a huge number.
Well, to get to the number posted just last night, the team as a whole will have to average more than 222 a person. So obviously, unless someone has a humongous set, you need all 4 ladies on the same page. But yes, it's kind of tough to see. Obviously, last year we saw the 2nd highest team set ever on the way to the scratch team title for Eagles Edge Pro Shop, 3357. Of course, that was with 5-player teams. So we kind of have to wait and see how the 4-player dynamic is going to work out.
Well, I mean, just to our right, you know, the team of Liz Johnson, yeah, they made some noise not too long ago and dominated the diamond and scratch portion of the team event.
That was back in 2010. That was actually the record score. 34-24 off the top of my head. I believe that was the number. That was enough to capture both titles. But that was an exciting two pairs of lanes to watch, because the crossing team for Liz and company shot the second highest series in tournament history, and a pair to the left, we had the fourth highest, all going on at the same time. It was pretty crazy. It was an unbelievable experience to get to watch, and obviously we're fortunate enough to be at a bowling facility filled with the best of the best. Donna Connors still striking on lanes 21 and 2, front 7.
So Aaron, looking at that team, of course, 3 champions out of the 4 players, and Donna Connors, I would say, probably bowls the least out of the 8 players on that pair of lanes, and she's more behind the scenes with the coaching and the running the tournaments. Very relevant in the Lucy Bonneau mixed doubles tournament down in the Houston area. We do have Donna on our Walk of Fame this year out in the hallway here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center, but she admits not to, she doesn't bowl quite as much as the rest of the players, but she's the one lighting it up here in game number 1, leading the way. Looking across the scoreboards here, of course, with 4 divisions, this squad predominantly Diamond, which is the highest division in the team event. A few other teams mixed in. We are winding things down the final week of the women's championships. No doubt we're going to see some excitement down to the wire. Here's Rachael Gittings looking for 3 in a row, and she gets the 10 to go on lane 18. So a little bit of momentum here for Diandra and her crew. But the strikes continue to pile up. 2 pairs over on 21 and 2. We'll keep an eye on them. You can bowl 2, and what I assume would be you can bowl 1. But right now it's just 1.
That's the position they're going for. Plain and simple. Moving in the first place. 1.
Fair enough.
Or at least that's what they're hoping for, yes. They've been there before, obviously. Very talented crew. 7 out of the 8 on that pair have stars next to their name as champions here at the WC. Kim Yioulos looking to get it going here on 18. Struck last time on this lane, unable to get the 6 to take care of the 10.
Aaron, with these 4-player teams and all these strikes being thrown, things just move along so quickly here now at the Women's Championships, and barely any time to enjoy the moment as we are nearing the end of game number 1 on some pairs. Right now, just the middle of the 6th frame here on our featured pair.
Donna Connor's run of strikes ended at 8. She actually opened, so I'm not, didn't get a chance to see that shot. She lost some count there too, so might have been a big split. She just dropped down to 159 max. Or excuse me, 259. She's got way more than 159 with the front 7. My apologies, Donna. It's still a great start, and obviously these ladies looking to not only make the run at the Diamond team, but get a good start for doubles and singles tomorrow. As you mentioned, new all events leaders in Division 1. Shauna Shannon of Albuquerque, New Mexico, throwing the last 10 strikes in her singles match, of her singles competition, didn't even realize it. But the last 10 to go ahead of 3-time titleist Joey Biondo by 4 pins, 20-78 up on top now.
And Joey, of course, has been a dominant force here at the Women's Championships over the last 3 years, and heading into this year, left in position to claim a title for the 4th consecutive time, and with her team falling from the top spot last week, and now Shauna Shannon taking the all events lead. The string of wins has come to an end, but still a fantastic run here for Joey Biondo. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of her.
I would certainly agree. She's been, as you said, nearly unstoppable since 2011. She's averaged more than 230 in this atmosphere since that event, and yeah, certainly not going anywhere. Kind of feels like she's in the prime of her bowling career right now, so certainly can expect to see more from her and the Eagles Edge Pro Shop crew in the future.
All right, I think we're all set here, and big crowd on hand in person and online. We do appreciate everybody stopping by. You know it's a special day when John Zerbinski's in the house. Saw him earlier this morning. He said he would certainly stop by at some point this week and possibly get on the live stream and talk a little bit about life on the PBA Tour and maybe reflect a little bit on his all events title at the USBC Open Championships last year. I have a feeling he's going to be spending part of the week as the ball rep and a little bit coach. And of course, a bowling fan. How could you not be impressed with the amount of talent on the lanes right now? As we roll through game number 1. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. It is Ladies Week here on BowlTV. I see a question in the chat room about live scoring from the WC, and yes, you can go to xbowling.com. And the Reno-Sparks Convention Center is among the options. And you can follow along with the scoring here on today's team event. Right now we are behind lanes 17 and 18. .2667, the 4-player number in the lead here with a week to go. And after being unchanged for what felt like forever, the lead has changed hands twice in the last 4 or 5 days even.
That's usually how it works. When one of the big tournaments rolls into town, it's kind of a who's who of who's going to take the top spot. But some solid numbers up on top already for each of the 4 events here. So these ladies have their work cut out for them. But they know what they're aiming for, and can certainly keep the tabs on the surrounding lanes as they make their individual runs. Nice shot by Yioulos there, her first double of the 2014 event.
So much experience on this pair of lanes, and some of the players even very young. And Kim Yioulos, Diandra Asbaty, Rachael Gittings, all collegiate success as well as international with Team USA and Junior Team USA. Paola Gomez from University of Nebraska and a longtime member of Team Columbia. I keep saying Paola. It's Paola. We'll just call her Gomez the rest of the day.
Problem solved.
We are good at solving problems.
And saying names incorrectly as well, as we have proven over and over again. Amanda Flood has no problem there, makes it 3 in a row. Here is Diandra stepping up on 18. 5 spares in a row. Looks like the Storm Optimist in hand. Takes care of all 10 there. Matt, you and I have got to watch a lot of bowling over the years working for USBC. I think one of the most memorable wins that I recall of when I think of dramatic victories is Diandra's 2012 Queens title. Just had been working at it for so long, and to finally see that come through for her, and the reaction afterwards, the celebration. I know that one photo of her holding the trophy is pretty memorable as well. But it was great to see all that hard work pay off, and just a testament to what started back when she was a kid, back in Dyer, Indiana, my neck of the woods.
So that's always a good story to hear, the rise of not only Diandra, but also her sister Cassie, and what they went through, or I don't want to say went through, but what they chose to do in order to get to this level. Late night practice sessions, weekend tournaments, missing out on a lot of the things that youngsters do. Friends and sleepovers and parties to go out and practice for hours and hours on end. And of course, just at the right time, the start of the Junior Team USA program. So got an opportunity to take advantage of that, and then of course progress through to the college ranks. Diandra went to Nebraska, and again, right at the start of the NCAA bowling program, so got to take advantage of that. Her sister went to Wichita, so they were rivals. And then Diandra continued on, and is very active in the bowling community, in the coaching realm, and just getting the word out as an ambassador. And didn't bowl much last year, or within the last year, but since giving birth to her second child in February, it's been back to business and clearly throwing the ball well based on her performance last night at the Open Championships.
Liz Johnson and company falling a little bit off pace there in the 9th and 10th frame after what looked like it's going to be a big number. Can still get to right around 880 or so. After a few opens in the 9th and 10th. 877 is still out there, so of course the ladies in our featured pair. Looking ahead at 26.67. More than 222 a bowler. But we certainly have the ladies capable of taking care of business here at the 44-lane Reno-Sparks Convention Center. This is Aaron Smith and Matt Cannizzaro. Thanks again for taking some time out on your Wednesday evening to join us right here on BowlTV. We'll be here all week. The cameras are getting a workout. There's 2 more live streams from the Women's Championships after today, and then the USBC Queens over at the National Bowling Stadium. And Lucas Wiseman will return from Europe refreshed and will bring all the action of Queens qualifying right here on BowlTV, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications and all the latest and greatest that USBC has to put up there. We just had a few videos from the USBC Open Championships. Put together by Matt Lawson, so those are up. Be sure to check those out. Keep track of us on social media. Sport of Bowling is at Facebook, or is on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC, on Twitter at twitter.com/USBC, and of course our own personal pages at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. Follow all the exciting behind the scenes stuff there. I was tweeting away last night after we finished up here, keeping the world informed about Artistic Expressions 1 as they made their run at Team All Events. Fell a little bit short, but they're walking away with a record score and looking at a few eagles as well. USBC Open Championships wraps up July 13th. Gomez comes in a little bit light there in the 9th frame, working on a double. See if Sandlin can get back on track after an open in the 8th. That shot left off her hand. Only the 6-pin stands. right by my math. Tampa Titans can still add 190 on top of the 708 they got. Should get them to right around 900. That shot right for Asbaty, leaving the washout. Her team a little behind the pace of their Florida counterparts. So they're going to have to put together a big game here. Or at least a big finish here in the 10th to not put themselves too far behind the pace.
In this historic run of the Open and Women's Championships here in Reno together will come to an end very soon, but next year the Women's Championships returns to the National Bowling Stadium across town, the one-of-a-kind 78-lane facility, and will be joined by the new USBC Mixed. That is an opportunity for all of the gentlemen sitting in the stands right now watching their ladies on the lanes to get involved. Friends and family members, welcome to join these bowlers on the lanes at the mixed. 4-player mixed team, 2 men, 2 women, mixed doubles and open singles, and it will share the same facility, same divisions, and same format as the Women's Championships to make it real simple. So for those gentlemen or any bowlers interested in testing the tournament waters, again, average base divisions from 190 and above to 129 and below and everything in between. A great opportunity to see what the tournament experience is all about, make the trip, bowl team doubles and singles, get a feel for it, maybe work your way up to something like the Open Championships, or if you already bowl the OC, make it another trip, a family trip. Take advantage of that competitive opportunity. Details can be found on bowl.com. The response has been great. A lot of friends and family looking forward to coming to town together. And registration is open for both events. Get on there, bowl.com. Register for 2015. And both events then headed to Las Vegas in 2016. So if you bowl next year, you can guarantee yourself a spot on the same dates and times the following year. That very important, of course, Las Vegas is going to be a big event. So knowing that you have your times locked up should ease your mind a little bit and give you something to look forward to.
Fat and juicy burger, said Chris Hester. All right, 10th frame underway. Stephanie Beck for Tampa Titans in at 217. Rachael Gittings 181 with the final 3. Looking around with all these talented Diamond Division teams in the house, looks like 877 is going to be the big number as Flood misses the single pin there to finish with 214. Liz Johnson coming in off to a strong start here in game 2 as well. 7 out of 8.
Question in the chat room about the lane condition here at the Women's Championships. It's 41 feet this year, and you can find the details on bowl.com. Just go to the Women's Championships page, click on the information tab, and you'll see some colorful graphs telling you all about the pattern, the length, the units. Certainly very helpful information. And not quite a sport condition, but also not a house shot. So a little bit more challenging. Still a premium on shot making. Certainly have to make your spares. This is the national championship after all.
All right, Gomez getting ready to step up on 18. Herman on 17. All right, with a spare in the 10th, she can get to 212 with a strike on the fill ball. 217 still available for Gomez.
Well, Aaron, I just posted a little bit of Bowlers Journal Championships news on the Matt Canizaro USBC page, and it has gotten the Brad Smith like of approval. So
Brad Smith needs a summer job.
that story about Matt Ogle shooting .802, taking the singles lead at the Bowlers Journal. Big scores this week over at the National Bowling Stadium, and more than likely over here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. So much talent assembled in one place.
Jennifer Herman finishes up 210. Gomez 206 still out there. As the Hall of Famer gets ready to finish up game one for Tampa Titans. Tough break there. As Low High leaves the 4-7-10.
Aaron, if Liz Johnson and her teammates can keep up their strike-a-thon over on lane 22, they're going to get their picture taken. 8:77 start. And a whole lot of X's on the board here in game number 2. As our featured pair, 17 and 18, will be the last one done here in game number 1. Maybe they just want to see what they'll need.
So 8:26 for Tampa Titans. Team DFTBA. It's going to be below par. Still add another 20 on here with 2 more strikes from Diandra. Good shot, tough break on the 9. After getting a 4-pin to trip out on the first shot. So 192 for Asbaty gives them 768. So arrow's already up. Waste no time. Stephanie Beck up on the approach, getting ready for game 2. Here at the RSCC, we'll be here for all 3 games team event today. So thank you again for stopping by and joining in. Over on 21-2. Spares showing for, we'll just call them 1 for now. Cheektowaga, New York. Sue Jazorski still striking though. Front 5 for her. Just saw Michelle Sterner getting back on track with her 3rd strike of game 2, a little ahead of pace of our feature pair. (2010) USBC Senior Queens champion Char Hamill off to a nice start. 259 in the opener for her. She's starting off game number 2 with a few strikes as well. On the same pair as a few USBC Hall of Famers, Virginia Norton and Fran Deacon, also in the house. Also have a member of the 2014 X-Bowling Intercollegiate Team Championship bowling this squad. Way down on the high end on 39-40. Samantha Kelly helped Robert Morris, Illinois, to the title earlier this year at the RSCC back in April. She's back to hopefully find a little more success. That might actually be the TV pair that was down on the high end. So she knew how to throw a few. She definitely threw a few strikes on that pair earlier, if that ends up being the same one. start off with the front three right now. She's bowling alongside Tracy Lungsford, now Tracy Anderson, who's a member of the Eagles Edge Pro Shot team. Took home the scratch title last year here at the RSCC. Karen Evans also on that team, rolled a 300 at the 2012 USBC Women's Championships over at the National Bowling Stadium. On her way to a record-tying doubles game, Melanie DiCarlo, 558.
Folks, Aaron Smith is not reading this information anywhere. It is all in his brain. He's been here at the WC on and off since 2009, has lived through much tournament history and studied the rest. He is an expert. Test his knowledge anytime. You can find him on Facebook and Twitter at USBC Aaron. Ask him a question. I bet he knows.
Ha.
And if he doesn't, he'll just make it up.
That is the standard answer for the media department, yes. Thank you, Matt. You showed me the way with your dedicated effort at the Open Championships. You wrote the book, I just read it. Until the memoirs come out.
It's going to be a nice addition to any bookshelf. When it happens, we've of course experienced many great moments at these two events. I think we could put together quite the list. And perhaps we'll see another great moment today. We are live at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center, wall to wall with talented players. Some already experienced, some up and comers. Two very talented teams on our featured pair. A ton of collegiate, international experience even. Paola Gomez up right now on lane 17. Longtime member of Team Columbia. A little bit of a slow start for Asbaty and her crew, 768. A little way off pace, 2667 is the number they're chasing. It's an 889 average. That is not a small number. You see Liz Johnson and her team on 21 and 22, just to our right. They're on pace, 877 in the opener.
Sue Jazorski stepping up on 21 right now, looking to make it 7 in a row. Off to the right of our feature pair. That's Rachael Gittings. That's 10 back. Sue caps off 7 in a row. So a lot of excitement going on here. A lot of strikes on the scoreboards across the RSCC. The world's largest LED mobile scoreboard getting a workout today. We'll get to see that next year at the El Paso Convention Center. As the 2015 USBC Open Championships makes its first trip to Sun City. Registration open for that event, as well as the 2015 USBC Women's Championships and USBC Mix, so be sure to get your teams signed up today, so you can experience these great events on your own next year.
The Diamond team lead changed hands last night. Some Strike It Hot from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Won the event in 2012, finished second last year. Back on top for the 4th consecutive time. But very nervous about today's squad and, of course, the rest of the week. So many great players. We're going to talk about it all day long because it's true.
Huh. It's always good when it's true.
It's been kind of a spread out year here at the Women's Championships. We've seen some great players along the way, but now with the Queens in town, a wave of talent headed to the biggest little city in the world. Tough break there for Jennifer Herman on lane 17. Here's Asbaty stepping up on the right lane, looking for a double, trying to get some momentum going for her team. 768 start. And she delivers.
Shots like that will certainly help. But yeah, they'll need to get on a roll here in the final 2 games to make a push at that leading diamond hold.
Aaron, looks like Brandy already left. She didn't want to watch in person. As the team lead, not even 24 hours old at this point. I think getting through this squad would be a huge milestone. But I don't think Liz Johnson is going to let that happen.
All right, looking for 8 in a row. Zorski takes care of business. The 2-time champion here.
Yeah, she's got her game face on, and they have come to win. It's been a few years since their dominating performance in 2010.
Nice break for Rachael Gittings there. Goes a little high on the head pin, but crumbles everything for 3 in a row. Late 7 falls for Gomez. Strikes starting to come in bunches here on 17. As Team DFTBA looks to make a run here. Gonna need a big finish after a little rough start in game 1. All right, Matt, stepping up on 21 to the right of our feature pair. Sue Jazorski getting ready for her 9th frame. Light mixer, wiggling the 2, does not.
Tickling the 2.
Does not fall over though. Great run by Sue. It was great to talk to her in 2010 after they took over the team lead with that record score. Had a lot of close calls with the team over the years and was just waiting for that breakthrough performance finally. They did that and more. Setting the record with 34-24. I'm actually going to look at the book to make sure that's right.
Sounds like it. And then 34-36 for handicap.
Yep. Yep, 34-24. All right. The only 3,400 in the history of the 5-player teams at the Women's Championships. Of course, now to 4 here in 2014. It's been well received. Changes the pace of play. Easier to travel, easier to put teams together. Very similar to local and state tournaments as well, so the transition has been good.
Well, you're watching the middle of Ladies Week here on BowlTV. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, with Christine Gill, the 2013 Diamond Singles and All Events champion, and then back on Friday morning with Scratch All Events winner Rocio Restrepo. And that will lead into our coverage of the USBC Queens and Senior Queens starting Saturday. We'll have all qualifying and match play rounds live on BowlTV. And then, of course, the televised finals, Senior Queens on BowlTV, the afternoon of July 3rd. Queens finals live on ESPN2 that evening.
Right now we are in the middle of game 2 behind lanes 17 and 18 at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center for the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. Former Team USA member and 2012 Queens champion Diandra Asbaty and her talented crew on the lanes here for team event. They're matched up with USBC Hall of Famer and defending Senior Queens champion Lucy Sandlin and her Tampa Titans team. once again, we are in hard to describe it, just an unbelievable group of ladies here on the lanes right now. USBC Hall of Famers, past champions here at the event, as far as the eye can see. We've mentioned a lot, Liz Johnson and her talented crew making a run at the Diamond Team lead that was set less than 24 hours ago. We'll keep you updated on them. They're in the 10th frame right now. Right now, here's Asbaty looking to make it 4 in a row. Takes care of business like we've seen it so many times before. Jaworski finishes up 269 after flirting with perfection there, starting with the front 8. She's liking this 41-foot pattern a lot. 258 in the opener. Puts her at 527 at the turn. Shot by Amanda Flood. 5 out of 6 for her. The first strike for Jennifer Herman. As Lucy Sandman looks to cap off a perfect frame for Tampa Titans. Liz Johnson stepping up on lane 22 right now. Team 1, that's all we can go off right now. Still get to 947. As Gittings makes it 2 in a row on 18. So that team is right on pace to to make a run here in the finale. I've always wondered, I finally figured out what DFTBA stands for. Don't forget to be awesome, Matt.
I'll try not to.
I know it slips your mind every once in a while, but. Liz Johnson finishes up with 2:15 to give her team 9:45 and 18:22 after 2 games. Needing only 8:45 in the final game to take a share of the lead. More than 200 pins ahead of their companion team, the very talented in the Yukon Bowl 2. Jeannie Nacarado, Donna Connors, Carol Norman, and Robin Romeo. Perfect first frame for Liz Johnson's crew. Looks like they mean business here. And led by Sue Jazorski, 5:27 at the turn. Having no problems with this 41-foot pattern used here at the Women's Championships. Featuring the Kegel Fire Oil being laid down by the brand new Kegel Flex. Rachael Gittings looking to make it 3 in a row of her own here. We're certainly seeing the ladies attack the lanes here from multiple angles. A few ladies a little bit straighter on the lanes. Rachael and Amanda a little bit further left. Once again, we want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for tuning in to BowlTV. Nearly 400 people tuning in live right now to watch this very talented crew of ladies take to the lanes, highlighted by 2012 USBC Queens champion Diandra Asbaty. Diandra 192 in the opener. Looks like she's gotten lined up here in game 2. Struck 5 out of 7 shots so far.
Well, Aaron, as I read through your story about Shauna Shannon, our Diamond All Events, I'm sorry, Division 1 now, All Events leader. Interested to see how the week unfolds with all these great players. 2078 now the number on top of All Events. But as you mentioned, Sue Jazorski, 527 after 2 games. So definitely going to be a run for it. Last year, 2274 was the top all events total at the event, Rosie over Strepo. She'll be here on Friday, live on BowlTV. So who knows what these ladies are capable of on this 41-foot lane condition.
Sue started off with a strike and then opened in the second frame, so her run at 800. It's not going to have an at least in team event here today. Messenger does not cooperate on the 10 for Rachel there. Pretty good shot. She's putting together a solid game so far. Struggling a bit in the opener, 181. Right now, you can see two of the best minds in bowling going back and forth. Lucy and Diandra talking about what's going on, having a good time out there. All in preparation for the USBC Queens and Senior Queens. She'll start at the National Bowling Stadium on Saturday. So be sure to spend your weekend here on BowlTV with us and Lucas Wiseman. We'll be back in town for those events, and be sure to stay with us the rest of the week here on BowlTV. Once again, 2 more broadcasts coming from the Women's Championships. Gomez unable to convert the 210 in the 9th frame. Flood looking at the 2-4-10 herself. Great shot by Diandra on 18. After getting that last shot a little bit to the right. So team DFTBA, they're known as Don't Forget to Be Awesome. It's going to be ahead of last game's pace as they get ready for the 10th frame. They're going to have to put together a doozy in the finale if they want to approach that 26-67 up on top of the Diamond team lead. Some Strike It Hot out of Albuquerque, New Mexico took over the lead in dramatic fashion on BowlTV last night. Right now, the biggest contenders on this 4 p.m. squad are on lanes 21 and 2. Group featuring Liz Johnson came out of the gates 877, 945. They need 845 in game 3 for a share of the lead. Got 2 doubles up there. They're halfway through 4, a few spares, 1 open so far.
All right, so 10th frame underway here on our featured pair, lanes 17 and 18 at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandelin wrapping up her 9th frame with a spare. There's a couple teams still in game number 2. But for the most part, game 3 underway across the house. So many talented teams here. Right now, Liz Johnson and her crew making a great run at the top spot. 26-67 is the leading number. Some Strike It Hot of Albuquerque, New Mexico took the lead just last night. And that is very much in jeopardy here. Couple good scores out there, but Liz's team definitely the front runner here on this afternoon team event. 4-player teams this year at the Women's Championships for the very first time in history. So all the previous records, donezo. It's time to open up a new chapter here at the WC. In its 95th year. Last year, Eagles Edge Pro Shop, the final 5-player scratch team champion. Now the whole event going back to a scratch format. 4 divisions in team, 6 for doubles and singles. And an opportunity for all skill levels to come out and succeed here on the championship lanes. A 41-foot oil pattern this year using Kegel Fire Oil. And in 2013, Kegel came out with Fire and Ice. And as the official lane maintenance provider for USBC Championships tournaments, the Open Championships across town at the NBS gets to use the ice oil. Fire, which hooks a little bit more, is used here at the Women's Championships. Once again, you can read all about the lane condition. Check out the colorful graphs on bowl.com. You can also read all the news and notes happening this week here at the Convention Center. A lot of action on the lanes already, and the week is just beginning. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. The official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page has all kinds of tidbits. Sometimes news isn't quite news, but it has a home now on the official page there on Facebook. A lot of great tidbits, facts and figures. All kinds of goodies. And right now, Liz Johnson and her team trying to get their picture on bowl.com. 877, 945. In game number 2, they need just 845 here in the finale to get a share of that top spot. And a couple of doubles on the board, handful of spares. Plus 45, it's
certainly something they can get to, but yeah, they'll need a few doubles up there if they want to make it a bit easier on themselves.
We saw last night some striking hot, finished with a huge final game, 970. And they did the math, they knew what they needed, and overcame some challenges along the way. Battled through it as a team. Needed just 956, just 156 over their final game.
Yeah, that was it's not a just there. That's that was a monster effort. Needed more than 235 a person.
Well, they're very familiar with that top spot. 2 of them got there in 2011, very briefly. Then they formed their current team. Came back in 2012, took home that diamond title. Nearly repeated last year. Ended up 2nd in diamond, 3rd in scratch. And proving once again, definitely not a fluke. Huge finish to get to the lead, but knowing at the same time the amount of talent headed this way this week. And nervously watching right now as the 2010 champions are fighting to get back to the top. $845 is $211 and change per person.
We certainly know those ladies can strike quite a bit. We've seen it before, but right now they are filling frames.
Only Liz Johnson at this point working on a strike. She doubled, spared in the 3rd, strike up in the 4th. But certainly going to have to figure something out here in the back half of game number 3 if they're going to get there. On our featured pair, the 10th frame coming to a close. Lucy Sandlin leading her team to 2 pretty solid games. 826 and now 791. So they are plus 17. Asbaty and her squad, don't forget to be awesome. Having a nice run here in game 2 after a slow start in the opener. Diandra with a big double there. So her team making up those pins lost in game 1. Liz Johnson unable to double. So 5 spares for
It's 4
one.
spares.
I'm never going to get the hang of this. 4 spares for Liz Johnson and 1. I was all getting ready for that fancy team name.
Well, that's why you're the color guy and I'm the stats guy here.
That's right. Keep me in check, Mr. Smith.
Switching roles.
Greg Moore walking out the door. The man responsible for this fine venue that you see before you. 44 lanes, the world's largest mobile scoreboard of its kind. Championship banners hanging from the rafters. Certainly a championship feel here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. And Aaron, I think the next squad coming in might be pretty strong as well. Seeing some talented players in the building. We saw Christina Fram walking around earlier with John Zerbinski.
Saw USBC Hall of Famer Tish Johnson walking around as well. So
Cassandra Luthold, and saw Shannon O'Keefe and Tennille Milligan earlier at the National Bowling Stadium. Not exactly sure what their schedule is.
I believe they bowl tomorrow night.
So the talent certainly spreading itself out.
All right, Stephanie Beck delivers a strike to kick off game 3 for the Tampa Titans. Don't forget to be awesomes. Starts off in similar fashion as Rachael Gittings delivers a strike on our feature pair for Don't Forget to Be Awesome after games of 768 and 871. Diandra Asbaty leading the way 430, followed by Paola Gomez 411, Rachael Gittings at 404, and Kim Yioulos at 394. So pretty solid overall effort, consistent effort.
Hey, nice comeback there for Diandra and her team. 100 pins better than game number 1.
And for the Tampa Titans, currently led by Amanda Flood, 421 at the turn, Stephanie Beck at 418, USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandlin 399. There we go. And Jennifer Herman, who's up on lane 18 right now, 379. They have games of 826 and 791. So Jennifer takes care of all 10 there. The strikes all of a sudden hard to come by over on 21 and 22.
Well, after that huge second game, perhaps we're looking at some transition here, some game 3 blues maybe. Still around the pocket and staying clean. That is obviously crucial to success at any level. Just 1 hole so far on the board. But 7 consecutive spares right now. As Liz Johnson tries to end that run with a strike here in frame number 6.
Johnson able to connect to end that string of spares for her team, the 2009 Queens champion, right here in Reno, Nevada, at the Reno Event Center. That was a cool experience. They actually built out a few lanes just across the street from the National Bowling Stadium at the Event Center there, which is home to the Reno Bighorns NBA development team, and concerts as well. A lot of events go through there, but filled out 4 lanes for that and the Clash of Titans as well. So it's a pretty cool thing to get to experience, especially in my first year as
just a kid back then.
Yeah, working my first tournament at the tender age of 25, 24, I don't even know. I'm almost as old as Matt Cannizzaro now.
Ha. Well, I don't believe you'll ever catch me. But whether it's good or bad, sir, you're following a similar path. would say there are worse places to be than where we are right now. Back here behind lanes 17 and 18 at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center, watching some of the best women bowlers in the world. And generations of talent here. From USBC Hall of Famers, Lucy Sandelin, Fran Deacon, to the next generation, Kim Yioulos, Rachael Gittings, junior Team USA members, Team USA, collegiate standouts. Liz Johnson, pretty much the face of women's bowling for the last decade or so, her and Kelly Kulik, who is not here yet.
Kelly has actually already bowled the women's championship, so she's in the standings. So I think Kelly might be able to bowl a team event still, but that would be it. Sorry to interrupt you there.
It's all right, Mr. Smith. It's teamwork. But certainly a who's who of women's bowling. We've got Sandy Postma, the Hall of Famer, Queens and Senior Queens champion. We could probably spend half of game 3 just going through the announcements Eric Pearson made at the start of the squad, but right now we're watching Liz Johnson and her team get going. There's 3 consecutive strikes. They're in the 7th frame. And Aaron's getting the calculator out. He's going to start doing the math.
So through 7, they had 954 still out there. That's going to drop a little bit more. Can't forget about the great ladies, of course, on our feature pair here. So we keep an eye on all the happenings at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Rachael Gittings unable to get the hold and the hit. You see 4-9. Nice shot there by Stephanie Beck. Once again, we want to take a quick second to thank everyone for tuning in to BowlTV today. This is Aaron Smith alongside Matt Cannizzaro. We are behind lanes 17 and 18 at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center for the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. Diandra Asbaty, 2012 Queens champion. Her talented crew who teamed up alongside defending Senior Queens champion and USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandelin. They're a little behind the pace of what they need to get to the Diamond Team lead. The ladies we're keeping an eye on for that are on 21 and 2. Group that's been there before, featuring Liz Johnson.
Aaron, I think they're in pretty good position right now to make a move. They got about 100 pins to play with in 2 frames.
That's what I got as well. So 3 out of 4 working on doubles. Stepping up in the 9th frame.
Certainly an admirable effort by Some Strike It Hot from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 26-67 last night, but knowing that the majority of the top players in the game haven't been through the venue just yet. And as with any team, I'm sure they feel like they left a few pins out there. Struggled a little bit, worked together well as a team. But loads of talent out here on the lanes right now.
Certainly a fantastic effort down the stretch too. That's the big thing. Needed the big game, put it together, and finish it off in the 10th. So, like I told you yesterday, it was probably one of the funnest final games we've gotten to see here on BowlTV and possibly in a while.
Well, always nice to see a little bit of drama and the big shots when you need them. A little excitement, that's what TV's all about. But for any team to come in here and, especially this late in the event, leave with the lead 4 consecutive times. That team is the real deal. And a few more years of experience perhaps and some polishing like the teams we're watching right now. And they'll be hanging around, I'm sure.
The 10-pin stands for Diandra. You mentioned it earlier, Matt. Diandra, unbelievably involved in the sport of bowling. Her and Jason Belmonte teaming up to introduce the international art of bowling as well. Certainly hoping that takes off and putting a lot of time and effort into that.
Yes, very involved in the coaching aspect of it, doing a lot of boot camps and things around the country, a lot of interactive type things. Online coaching, Skype coaching is very big. A lot of great tidbits, information, stories on their websites. That IAB very active out there in the bowling community. Always doing something, always on the road somewhere, helping the next generation.
Interesting 10th frame for Liz Johnson and crew. They have a shot at it. They have 45 pins to play with for a share of the lead. Sue Jaworski, nothing but spares since the 5th frame. Unable to find the carry she had in the first 2. Had 527 at the turn.
So Aaron Brandy is front and center right here by our TV pair. Watching, sweating it out. Last year, they led for months, I think, before being beat out in that diamond division with the handicap. That ended up being the difference. But I think a little bit less of a sting maybe after having won the year before. But it's never fun being the runner-up. And now a chance to see that lead disappear right now with the big 10th frame. Already 1 strike on the board here in the 10th. As you said, 890 max here. They need 845 for a tie. So big shot here. Jaworski leading the way. so far today with 2 huge games. And leaves the 10 pin on her second shot there. Now, folks at home, there are 2 pairs to our right. But easily the squad leader and making a run here. So they lose 10 pins max there. So 880 will be just enough.
Might come down to the anchor and not. I'm going to guess they're going to like their chances with Liz Johnson.
So I can think of worse anchors to have up there trying to throw the last 3 shots.
I can think of 2 behind the cameras right now. But yes, it's going to be an interesting finish for sure.
Well, they've been there before. They've thrown the big shots when they needed them. Now it's time to step up on the biggest stage in women's bowling.
The only team member working on multiple strikes right now, Michelle Sterner. She is the 3rd bowler.
And this is just for a shot at the lead, with knowing there's a tough week ahead.
That's true, but she only one working on a few strikes, so if she doesn't strike on the first shot, 21 gone right there with a 9 count. It goes, like we said before, it goes quick.
So big shot here, possible 223, and delivers 10 back. So this is what it's all about, the excitement. And you're hearing it here live on BowlTV. It's like the old days, before TV. You've got your feature pair here, 17 and 18. 8 great players. And you're listening along to a run at the lead here.
All right, all 3 in the 10th for 223 for, I'm not sure how to say her last name, but Sue Milwojcicki? I guess that's not right. Sorry, Sue. Great 10th frame there.
So 880 still the max for Liz Johnson and crew. If it was as simple as it sounds, we could turn the cameras that way. But I can see a devastating toppling of the table.
Yes, it's certainly not as sturdy as the setup at the Open Championships. 7-pin stands for Sterner. So there's 21 away from that 880. So that puts him at 859. Max score.
Well, she fills the frame here. All Liz Johnson needs to do is get a good count and a mark in the 10th. She'll have a few pins to play with. And she missed it. She misses the 7 pin.
And now the tails have turned. Holy cow, 202 for Michelle Sterner. Liz Johnson needs the first 2.
First 2 and 8.
First 2 and 8 to take the lead.
To take a share. But yes, a double, anything less.
Gets the 10 out late on the first shot.
Ice water. Liz Johnson. One of the best in the game. Needs the next one in 9 for all of it. Strike 8, we'll have a tie. There's some drama in the RSCC.
So much of it.
Here's Johnson up on lane 21. Strike here for a chance at the lead. Ring 10.
Ring 10. Holy cow. Unbelievable. Some strike it hot, lives to fight at least another squad.
Well,
26:59
cannot
with the
throw
conversion.
it any better.
Absolute ring 10 for Liz Johnson. Unbelievable. They know it. You can see it on their face. They are disappointed right now. Michelle Sterner, hands on the head after the missed 7-pin. Got a feel for her after putting on a fantastic performance. She shot 689, but is going to be a few pins short as they move into second.
Well, Mr. Smith, all you can ask for is a chance, and they put it in the hands of their anchor bowler. And she threw it as good as you can. And there it is, 26:59, second place in Diamond Team. Now we'll turn our attention back to lanes 17 and 18. Team Don't Forget to Be Awesome, led by Diandra Asbaty. 768, 871. And of course, USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandelin, 826, 791. Tampa Titans.
Got the Mark London stamp of approval on our radio call there. Thanks for tuning in, Mark, and everyone here at the 2014 USBC Women's Championships right here live on BowlTV. We are behind lanes 17 and 18 watching team Don't Forget to Be Awesome featuring Diandra Asbaty and the Tampa Titans featuring USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandelin, but we just went to the radio call a few pairs away over on 21 and 2. Liz Johnson and her talented team, which has been there before and knows how to throw some strikes here, falling just short of the Diamond Team lead. Dramatic 10th frame. Liz Johnson needed a double and 9 to take the lead outright. Got the first one and a ring 10. Some strike it hot once again on top for another squad. But right now we will get back to the action on 17 and 18. Lucy takes care of the spare as we get ready for frame number 7. certainly see that as being some motivation for those ladies coming back tomorrow to compete in doubles and singles. We will have the cameras up once again during the noon local time squad to feature two-time women's championships titles Christine Gill, who took home the 2013 Diamond Singles and All Events title. She makes her return to the RSCC, actually finished up with 238 in her final game. She's bowling on the squad, was down on lanes 5 and 6. So 238, a solid finish to as she gets prepared to make a run at the top of the standings once again. We'll have the cameras going. Kim Yioulos up on 17. Sends all 10 back. That's her second double of the game. Lucy Sandlin getting ready to step up on lane 18. 4 consecutive spares for a strike in the second frame. Lucy making the turn at 399 after games of 185 and 214. Looking at just the 7-pin there. Of course, Lucy took home the 2013 Senior Queens title live on BowlTV from the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas. She made her way up the stepladder, including a thrilling match against the 2012 champion and fellow Hall of Famer Anne-Marie Dugan. Anne-Marie had a chance to shut out Lucy going into the 10th. Was unable to do so, putting the pressure on the Hall of Famer to throw the first 2 strikes. A good count. I think she actually needed 9 to secure the lead. Did so. Then Lucy took care of business in the finals, 279 to 224 over Tish Johnson. If you want to see that archive broadcast, be sure after you're done watching today to check that out on BowlTV. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for notifications and all the latest and greatest. Just had some fantastic videos put together by our own Matt Lawson from the USBC Open Championships. We had some fantastic team performances in the past week over there. Highest team game, highest team series. So to be sure to check that out for all the latest and greatest. Stephanie Beck just enough of the 4-pin there to stay clean. course, we are always doing something new on social media, so be sure to follow the Sport of Bowling on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC. Of course, the official Open and Women's Championships page also on there. And on Twitter at twitter.com/USBC. Our personal pages at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. For all the behind the scenes goodies as well. Great shot by Amanda Flood there. Making the turn at 421. These ladies are not going to make it to the Diamond Team lead here in 2014. A little bit of a slow start for Don't Forget to Be Awesome, and Tampa Titans went the other way in game 2. But they'll be back tomorrow, and of course later in the week at the NBS at the National Bowling Stadium as the Queens and Senior Queens kicks off Saturday. All right, here's Diandra working on 4 in a row. She steps back and resets. A few questions in the chat room about what ball Diandra's throwing. Of course, a member of the Storm staff. Looks like the brand new Optimus. The 10 pin there. Nice break for Gittings crossing over. Already in the foundation frame. Matt Cannizzaro moving along quickly here. We'll be shutting the cameras down at least for a little while as we prepare for our next stream tomorrow at noon.
I was gonna say for a little while. I don't know if you had big plans for this evening squad, but I think I've had enough excitement for one day. So much drama here. Liz Johnson nearly helping her team into the lead. Threw a great shot, left the ring 10 pin. Good for second place right now. But a stacked week here at the WC.
Of course, the 2014 event comes to a close June 30th. So 5 days away.
Some eager leaders right now on the leaderboard. Wishing it would be over faster. I think I saw a post from Joey Biondo yesterday wishing that it was already 6 days from now, and Joey's score was passed earlier today by Shauna Shannon of Albuquerque, new all events leader, 2078. Just 4 pins ahead of Joey, denying her a title for the 4th consecutive year.
The Kegel Flex machines We're out in force, getting ready for the 7 p.m. squad coming up in just a little bit here. We started a little bit behind schedule after Eric Pearson announced all the accomplishments on this team event. And that's just the stuff at the tournament itself, and Queens, Senior Queens, USBC Hall of Famers.
So just more talent every time we look up. There's Paula Vidad, Senior Queens champion. Erin Lenahan, saw Samantha Shadden a minute ago. Missy Parkin was walking around not too long ago. Jackie Reese in the building. All familiar names, and names that you'll likely see in the standings at the USBC Queens later this week, and possibly on Bowl.com after finding success here at the Women's Championships. We will see. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on the scoreboards all week long, and we'll be here on BowlTV each of the next 2 days.
All right, here's Lucy in the 9th. Makes it a double. And Stephanie Beck already up for the 10th frame. Able to get the mixer there.
Right now, just getting ready to post the news about Shauna Shannon taking the all events lead here on Bowl.com. Of course, with this week, the way things happen, you want to get that up as quickly as possible before that number gets beaten, and then you spent.
Or part of the story changes. Obviously, Shauna delivered the clutch strike in the 10th to secure the lead for the ladies of Some Strike It Hot, and then. Oh, I won't tell you how it ends. If you've been paying it, or if you've been here all along, then you'll know what she did. But otherwise, go read that story on Bowl.com. As soon as Matt Cannizzaro presses the button, hopefully the correct one. That should be up shortly. And of course, be sure to check our Twitter feeds in case something crazy starts during the 7 p.m. squad. We'll be throwing the updates all around. So at least for another squad, 2667 up on top. Nice 6:52 for Amanda Flood, going 2:31 in the finale. Stephanie Beck finishes up 6:04. Rachael Gittings 5:73.
Yeah, we got a big number today in the chat room or online, around the 400 number. That is some great support for women's bowling.
6:21 for Kim Yioulos. And yes, very, very nice numbers as well. We appreciate all you folks taking time out.
I heard a rumor somewhere that there were some other more compelling coverage to be had in town in recent days, but you can't really argue with the numbers we're seeing right now and the support for the USBC Women's Championships here on BowlTV on this Wednesday evening. Midweek, everybody tired from the workday, probably want to get some rest for a big day tomorrow, and joining us here live, and we do appreciate it.
All right, 2:01 for a 580 finish for Jennifer Herman. As here's the field wall for Gomez. She can get to 197 with a strike. Leaves the 10 for 196. And 607. Finally, the Queens and Senior Queens, past champions, finishing up our broadcast today. Can't ask for much more than that. Diandra sending some love towards Nicole Van Daneker's daughter, holding her up there, just off of the camera. Lucy with 2 strikes in the 10th, looking to get to 220. Late trip on the 10 for Diandra. Flexing the muscles after that one. Place for the 410, 218 for 617. And Lucy Sandlin, the Tampa Titans out of Brandon, Florida, 836 for 24.53. Diandra finishes her day off with a strike for 220, 226. And 656, she'll be high on the pair, leading Don't Forget to Be Awesome to 818 and 24.57. So the teams almost match each other there. Matt will go to the pin cam or the scoreboard cam in just a second here. But Matt, that's the rundown of the effort today. Please take it home, sir.
Well, it certainly was an exciting and dramatic team event here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. No doubt we're going to see a lot more of that this week as the top players come to town in preparation of the USBC Queens and Senior Queens. And again, we have another exciting squad coming up next. We will not be on the cameras, but we'll certainly be here to recap if anything does happen. Otherwise, we'll be back on the air tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast for Christine Gill, the 2013 Diamond Singles and All Events winner. And that's going to do it from the RSCC and USBC Women's Championships today. We appreciate everybody's support. That's the news for now, and we'll see you on the lanes.